some people in this gaming community are so stupid sometimes. And I'm not just talking YouTubers, I'm talking journalists and analysts and commenters and just everyone affiliated with the idea that Nintendo is going to go third party. Like, this notion of Nintendo going third party and dropping all consoles, only making software for the Xbox One, PS4, and whatever else, this has been going on for like 3, maybe even more years than that. But it's been happening a lot really recently, due to Nintendo recently cutting their forecast for the Wii U down from 9 million sold after launch to only 2.8, which is a very big drop. And I wish it wasn't like that, but it is. And ever since that, people have just been saying, Nintendo's doomed, Wii U's doomed, no, they're going to go third party. I would be kind of okay with this. Like, with people saying that it's not going to happen at all, period. But I'd be kind of okay with people saying that if they didn't throw in Nintendo should pull a Sega, Wii U is the next Dreamcast. People who say this clearly aren't educated as to why exactly Sega went bankrupt. It wasn't just because of the one console, the Dreamcast. That console did fail hard, but that wasn't the only console, console, yeah, I guess add-ons are considered consoles now, that failed horribly. Can't even think straight. People need to realize there were so many different things Sega did wrong prior to the Dreamcast. Sega CD with an add-on to the Genesis. There were like 2 other add-ons that failed horribly to the Genesis. The Sega Game Gear tried to compete with Game Boy and failed horribly. The Sega Saturn, that was a pretty good system. But after 2 years, 2 or so years, they decided to cancel that system, said it's not our future, and go on with another console, the Dreamcast. And the Dreamcast was completely destroyed by the PS2, Xbox One, GameCube, and everything else out at the time. They had no choice. They had no money. They couldn't do anything else but go bankrupt. And to compare the Wii U being, if it does fail, Nintendo would have only one console or system period that failed. Sega had at least 4, maybe 5 that failed horribly. If this console does fail, Nintendo has enough money in the bank to have at least 3 more failed consoles. Probably even more than that. Clearly people don't realize Nintendo has $10 billion US worth of money in the bank. I think Shokio said it best. If Nintendo stopped making hardware, they dropped 3DS, dropped Wii U, dropped all software, they just stopped making stuff, they could consistently lose over $240,000 a year until 2075, and they would still not be bankrupt. Let that sink in. Yeah, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. And people who do say that they're going to go bankrupt, I can put into 3 categories. 1, people who are jealous that Mario, Link, and others are not on the PS4 and Xbox One. Probably specifically PS4, because that's mostly what I hear. It's mostly Sony fans who are saying this. 2, idiots who actually believe this, but don't really have the best logic when they're talking about this. This is mostly the game analysts, including Michael Pachter, who I'm going to get into in a minute. And the 3rd category, who are probably the biggest offenders of this, people who are only saying this because it's the popular opinion. I'm going to start with those guys. Now, it apparently is cool nowadays to bash on Nintendo. To say, oh, they suck, they're terrible, they need to go third party, hardware is not their thing anymore. And people who want to be cool in this game industry, in this gaming community, people want to be cool, just go, that is their go-to complaint. Like, that is what they say, and they expect to be respected, pretty much. You're like, oh, I'm bashing Nintendo, I think they should go third party. I'm clearly cool now. Like, I had a conversation with this one guy, and he commented first, I think Nintendo should go third party and release software for the PS4 and Xbox One. Someone commented, you're stupid. Well, they actually didn't say you were stupid, they had a little more vulgar than that, but it was basically to the extent of, you're stupid, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. And then the first person commented again saying, it's just my opinion, don't call me stupid. And I just wanted to wring that guy's neck, not actually kill him, but, knock him to his senses, and tell him, that's not your opinion. That's the popular opinion. You aren't making that opinion. You're just saying that because that's what other people are saying. And it annoys me to no end when people just say that without having any premise to what they're saying. They don't have any logic to it. They're just saying that. Oh, Nintendo should go third party. It's just my opinion, don't get mad at me. No, it's not your opinion. And to the second group of people, the analysts who actually agree with this statement, but don't have any real evidence. Now, I'm going to mainly harp on Michael Pachter, like every other Nintendo fan does ever. He never knows what he's talking about, ever. Like, I was watching one of his pack attacks the other day. I only watch him just to see how stupid he is, really. Because it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine to watch other people who don't know what they're talking about, and people with not very sound logic try to sound logical. That's what he is. And in this pack attack, someone commented, someone asked him a question, do you think Nintendo will ever pull a Sega and go third party? And he commented back, one of the stupidest things I've ever heard a game analyst say. It makes no sense for Nintendo to be in the hardware business. They don't make any money off their hardware, and their software would sell more on other consoles. And then he went on to say in another pack attack that the 3DS... Like, he was completely wrong about 3DS, by the way. Like, originally, he was saying, oh, the 3DS is going to get destroyed by the Vita. Nintendo should go third party, yada, yada, yada. The 3DS is doing just fine. It's destroying everything else, including the next-gen consoles. He will not admit he's wrong, because he kept saying, oh, the 3DS, it is doing okay now, but it's not going to live up to the level of the DS. So, I don't think there will be a next Nintendo handheld. What? The 3DS is the fastest selling system ever, period. It was the fastest to 30 million. Even the PS2, which is the highest selling console ever, took longer than the 3DS to reach that limit. Like, I don't understand why he says this stuff. And the real thing that got me is when he said it makes no sense for them to be in the hardware business because they make little to no money off their hardware. Clearly, Michael Pachter, you don't really know anything about Sony or Microsoft, or PlayStation, Xbox specifically. The PlayStation 3 never made a profit, ever. I think their only profitable year, maybe, and it was just barely a profit, was back in 2010, I think. from 2006 until 2009, they lost a ton of money. 2011 until 2013, they lost a ton of money. They lost a little less money than before. But they haven't gained a single cent off the PlayStation brand since early PlayStation 2 days. Like, even the PlayStation 2, it was very expensive to make, with the Blu-ray player in it being expensive at the time. They barely made any money off of the PlayStation 2. So, does it not make sense for them to be in the hardware business? No, they're Sony. He's totally a PlayStation fanboy, if you haven't noticed. Or maybe, well, he's not a PlayStation Xbox fanboy, he just hates Nintendo, obviously. Because, PlayStation hasn't made a single cent, but the Wii, 3DS, DS, GameCube, even the GameCube made a profit. Wii U at first made a somewhat of a profit. It makes no sense for them to be in the hardware business, but it makes total sense for Sony, who hasn't made a cent off the PlayStation brand since, 2004. It makes total sense for them to be in the hardware business. And let's talk about Microsoft. He never says anything bad about Microsoft. He always says, oh, it's not very good to put stock into Nintendo, but it's perfectly fine to put stock into Microsoft gaming division when yearly they lose $2 billion off the Xbox brand. And Nintendo is the one who should leave the console business when Sony and Microsoft haven't made a cent off their gaming divisions in years. I don't think the Xbox brand has ever made a single penny. The Sony PlayStation division has at least made a little money, and I think they're getting a little bit of money off of each PS4 sold, so they're doing a lot better. And now for the jealous people. People who are just they say this only because they want Mario and Zelda and whatever else on their system of choice. Because clearly they can't get a Wii U just to play these games. That's always the excuse I hear. They see all these amazing games coming out, and then, oh, I don't want a Wii U just for one game. I'm not going to get it just for Mario Kart, just for Smash Bros., just for Bayonetta. And these same people say it for all three of those and even more games. If you get a Wii U, you're not just going to get that one game. If a game looks interesting to you, there are probably other games in that series or similar to that series on the system that you're going to like. Don't just throw it out as, I'm not going to get it just for that one game. There's going to be other games on the system that you might like. At least give it a chance. Seriously. Unless you really are, a one console owner person just by choice. Don't just throw away other options, period. But I kind of got off topic there. Some of these people, I hear all the time, when Pikmin 3 was being shown, it looked like a really pretty and good game. In all the comment sections of people talking about Pikmin 3, even on Nintendo's channel. Wow, Pikmin 3 looks really pretty and really good. I can't wait to play Pikmin 4 on my PlayStation. Or I can't wait to play Smash Bros. When it comes out for the PlayStation. Can't wait to play Mario on the Xbox. So you're saying the only reason you want Nintendo to go third party is because of your selfish reasons. Only because you don't want to go out there and buy a Nintendo console so you can get these games that you want. You want them for the system that you have, even though you could potentially go and get another one of these systems. Like, who was it? It was the former CEO of THQ. I think he was the one who was the prime suspect of this. In an interview with him, he was like, "Oh yeah, I don't think Nintendo's gonna last this generation. They should just go third party. It makes no sense for them to be in the hardware business. They should start making games for the systems that we have." Are you assuming that people don't have Nintendo consoles? Because, like, I don't understand why people say that. Like, they should make games for systems that we have. You do realize that Nintendo guys want games that you get too, right? Like, a lot of third-party games that are coming out for the PS4 and Xbox One, Nintendo fans want those games, like Kingdom Hearts, Division, Destiny, even Halo. Some Nintendo fans want Halo on their system, but no, it's a first-party title. You have to go to Microsoft to get that game. Like I said, some people are just so stupid. Let me drive this home, okay? Nintendo is not going to go third party anytime soon. And if somehow Nintendo magically did go bankrupt in 50 years, because that's how long it's going to take. If they did go bankrupt and they had to leave the console business, all of their IPs would go down with them. They might sell a few of their older ones off to, like, Capcom if they survive, or to other third parties to have. But their main characters like Mario, Zelda, Kirby, Pokemon, they're going to go down with them. They're not going to be ported to other systems, okay? You need to realize this. They said it multiple times. They've said it in many interviews. If we go down, our IPs are going down with us. So there's no real point in even complaining or being jealous of Nintendo's consoles that you're not getting their games. Because if they did go third party, which they clearly say they never will, like if they did have to leave the console business, there's no chance of them going third party because their IPs are going to go down with them. People need to realize this. And just to reiterate my point, Nintendo has 10 billion, maybe even 9 by now, because they have lost a little bit over the past 3 years. Let's just say $9 billion US dollars in the bank right now. They're not going anywhere. Get over it. Nintendo is not going third party. I've gone this on. This has gone on way too long. I can't even think straight anymore. I'm sorry if I seem like a fanboy right now. I just get so annoyed when people say this kind of thing. And even if Nintendo did have to leave, it wouldn't be good for the gaming industry. It wouldn't. Like Sony and Microsoft, if Nintendo left, there would be no Japanese competition, so every single game would be completely westernized. And it would become very stale, and the gaming crash would happen then. If Nintendo goes down, the gaming crash would happen then. Like, immediately. Nintendo, whether you like it or not, is basically the company that's holding the gaming industry together. Now, like I said, I might sound like a Nintendo fanboy, which I kind of am, I guess, to an extent. But if Nintendo goes down, or if any of the big three go down, the gaming crash is going to happen immediately. It would happen a little slower if Microsoft or Sony went out. But trust me, if Nintendo went down and had to go third party, Well, first of all, like I said, they wouldn't go third party. If Nintendo went down, the gaming industry is going down with them. And so are their IPs, and so is Sony, and so is Microsoft. And it just would not be good for anyone for Nintendo to go third party. Okay? This has been the Magnum 94, and I'm in a bit of a ranting mood right now, as you can tell. So I might put out a couple more videos like this. If you don't like ranting type videos, please tell me in the comments section below. Cause I'm thinking about putting out 2 more ranting videos like within this week. And after that, if you put in the comment section that you don't want me to do any more of these rant type videos and do other kind of videos, then I'll gladly do that, okay? I just need to get my opinion out there and tell people who are stupid to get over it, okay? So, rate, comment, subscribe, and tell other people who say this kind of crap, say Nintendo should go third party, use the points I made in this video, and own them, okay? Just straight up own them. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.